Welcome to SEO Conspiracy.com. This is your alternative search news for week 2 of 2021. We moved from Tuesday to Friday. So now, every Friday, the alternative search news, some big news, and hopefully a lot of news that you've never seen elsewhere. So let's go, guys. First, I didn't see that one coming, but I guess we should have, right? Over 80,000 .eu domains owned by UK citizens, well, were suspended because Brexit, guys. They left the EU. Therefore, UK citizens can't own or reserve .eu domains. Pretty crazy, huh? Next, still on Twitter from our friend Glenn Gabe. Last night, Danny Sullivan, ex-SEO and now Googler, is in charge of the Search Liaison account. He confirmed that subtopics are now live. I reported that in the news. If you watched the keynote by Prabhakar Raghavan, you've heard about passages indexing and you've heard about subtopics. If you look at my strategy of the topical mesh, if you search for semantic SEO, you will find my video. And thank you, Google. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Prabhakar, to confirm that what I preach is the right way. And I'm not saying it. Google is saying it. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've been right all along for 10 years now. Next, in the news, still on Twitter, Alvin Fu is sharing a pretty cool image of the Big Tech's activity playground. So we see that on the cloud, well, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google are very big on the public cloud. Apple and Facebook are just not. Then on wearable devices, Google and Apple are good. Smartphones, Apple, Google. Connected home, Amazon, Google, Apple. Automobiles, Amazon, Google, Apple. Augmented virtual reality, Microsoft, Google, Apple, Facebook. Gaming, they're all in it. Some of them suck at it, but they're all in it. Okay? Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Apple, and Facebook. Autonomous driving, Amazon, Google, and Apple. Internet of Things, IoT, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Apple. AI, artificial intelligence, they're all in it. Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Apple, and Facebook. So basically, everybody is into AI, everybody is into gaming, and that's about it. Augmented virtual reality, Amazon has a yellow, not a red, so it's like half in, some investment. Next in the news, on deadline.com, Parley SEO says service dropped by every vendor and could end his business. So basically, Parley is like a Twitter, but more right. I guess in the US, there's no left and right. There's just right and far right, or the middle and the super right, or whatever you want to call it. So that platform, it seemed like a lot of extreme right-wing people were on there, and I guess he had a role to play in the Capitol Hill incident. And now, well, Parler is in trouble. Everybody dropped Parler. It's not on Apple or the Google Store. Amazon dropped it too, and I think we opened an account on that. So I guess might as well close it. Next in the news, Google My Business. Finally, we see a little bit of analytics. Thank you, Google. So the big news is that you have a little bit of, okay, how many views, searches, activity, the keywords, the total number of searches, the recent followers, and etc., etc. So there's just one new part of the Google My Business, but it's analytics, which is most definitely a good new part. Thank you, Google. And thank you also, Google, for the next tools. This is called Lighthouse, and it's basically to run on Chrome. And it will tell you if your JavaScript libraries are outdated and you need to upgrade them, which is also a perfect transition to the next use on the chrome.google.com, which is the core sub vitals. You know that the core web vitals is the big talk that if you haven't done it by now, I remember everybody that it started in August 2009 that Google asked us to build better web interfaces. But if you're just starting now, it's never too late. Well, maybe those two plugins could start to help you. Next in the news, Ren Fishkin on SparkToro is a new project, SparkToro. I hope it's doing well, and I wish you the best for this new project. But that piece you wrote is amazing. Something is rotten in online advertising. I've been saying it for long enough. I wish I was as famous as Ren Fishkin, so my voice would carry more weight. I won't summarize. You have to read it because it's pretty long. But basically, it's a big scam. Okay, everything is wrong about the online advertising industry from the start, from how they figured out this way of calculating how much to pay to the way the websites are cheating to get more views, and everything. Just yes, I predict that some big moves will happen in the online advertising industry, not only because of the issues with privacy, but also because it's just been, I don't have any other word than a big scam. And agencies taking money from companies. Yes, they advertise, but they get way too much money for what they are supposed to do. From all the ways, all levels. It's everything is rotten in online advertising. Next, on gmsisters.com, how to detect competitors' price changes with a little bit of Python and email alerts. A cool little script shared by Moshe Fit. So he's giving you all the code here if you want to scrap and compare the the prices of your competition on a regular basis. Thank you. Very cool script. Very useful. Thank you for sharing. Next in the news on The Verge, TikTok debuts first augmented reality filter that uses iPhone 12 Pro LiDAR camera. It's pretty funky. I've used it with a how do you say? I've used it on my iPad Pro with this guy, with the Dr. Disrespect figure, which is interactive. Definitely kind of gadget type of thing. It's a start. It's augmented reality. It's the future. TikTok is on it. Right on TikTok. Next on Engadget.com, Twitter is buying the team behind a podcast app to help build its audio spaces. The team behind Breaker, a social podcast app, is joining Twitter, but the app will stay in business. Okay, last week I reported Amazon bought Wondery, which I thought was a wonderful move and a very smart one. Now, Twitter buying this app, I've never heard of this app. So maybe it's great. I don't know. I don't know everything, guys. I just don't know what it's worth. We'll see. That's supposedly the app will stay in business. So we'll see what happens with this app that... if you compare buying Wondery and Spaces, it's just not, they're not playing, they're not boxing in the same category here. But what I predict is this is the next big one, johnclubhouse.com. Okay? This is it. I'm betting on this one, johnclubhouse.com, Clubhouse. Get on the waiting list. This is where it's all gonna happen. It's basically rooms where you can talk to people. It's like open Zoom, I guess, type of thing. And yeah, we'll see if I'm right. But I think this is this is something that will succeed and very quickly. Next in the news, on the official Facebook about FB.com, introducing the new pages experiences. Thank you, Facebook, because I've been hating your interface since forever, and I don't dislike the new layout. I prefer it. So thank you very much for that. And hopefully it will get me to get more often on Facebook, because it's part of the game. You gotta do Facebook. Even if your grandma is not on Facebook anymore, you still have a lot of people on Facebook. You gotta do Facebook, guys. It's part of marketing. Next, on Scientific American. I don't know. I don't know. It's not April Fool's. It's Scientific American. I guess it's serious, but lack of sleep could be a problem for AIs. Some types of artificial intelligence start to hallucinate if they don't get enough rest, just as humans do. I don't even know how to comment this news. It's just mind-blowing to me that a computer, like an algorithm, gets tired. But I guess if scientists say so, amazing. I never thought I would read something like this one day. Next in the news. Thank you, Google. Finally. On developers.google.com, introduction to HTTP/2. finally Google announced that is crawling, accepting properly HTTP/2, because this is the only secure, this is the only way you have to do HTTP/2, period. It just took way too long for Google to take into account this technology. I don't understand why we had to wait until 2021 to get this, because I won't get into details, but everything is better from a HTTP/2 point of view. And finally, in the news, on a lighter mode, the app Flow, F-L-O, which is an app to follow your periods and dates of your pregnancy plans, obviously for women. Well, the FTC alleges that Flow would sell the data to Facebook and Google. That's not nice, guys. You're not supposed to do that, okay? So they will find all the ways to say that they wasn't the blah blah. Yeah, that's pretty sensitive health data. Sharing that with Facebook and data is just plain wrong. There are no excuses for this kind of behavior. That's it for this week's news. You can find all the links I mentioned in the video on SEOconspiracy.com if you look for the post for week 2 of 2021. And I'll see you next Friday. So until next time, thanks for watching. Take care.